So you must be doing something right when they start looking for things about you, non-scandals. Okay, so recently a person, several people, but one main person, I won't name that person's name, questioned Maxine Waters about her income and how she was able to afford the house that she lives in and the area that she lives in. Okay, now if y'all watched my last video, okay, DACA Dreamer video, if you are black, they triple and quadruple check you. Okay? There is no way in hell that Maxine Waters could be outspoken as she is, especially about a sitting president. And she's been like this, y'all. This just didn't start like people think it had. Like it just started. She's always been like this, okay? So, you think that someone is that outspoken about a sitting president and they're a black person and they're not going to be triple checked and there's something fishy going on? Come on. Wake up. Listen. Here's the real translation. Now, let me give you their translation first. They're saying, in case you haven't heard, Maxine Waters, how can you afford this house? How come you don't live in your district? Supposedly, that's what they're saying. How come you have this nice grand house? How do you live in this really nice neighborhood when your district is, a little lesser income, lower income, and stuff like that? Okay, like someone won't be living in the projects if they don't have to. Okay, but anyway, so my thing is this. The translation here is, number one, let's find a scandal to discredit her because she's speaking the truth about the sitting president. And they can't take that. That means you're doing something right. Number two, how can you live like that? You're black. Wait a minute. And number three, what my grandmother used to say, you thinking Poe. Now I'm going to get on all those in a reverse order. Number three, thinking Poe means, to me, you're thinking with a poor mindset. You're thinking that, okay, let's say I have a job and I make $40,000 a year. Let's say I work for the school system. I don't know. And I seem to be living above what a person at that salary would live like. You're assuming that's my only source of income. That's how poor people think. They think labor equals money. Time equals money. Y'all, time don't equal money. That's the worst thing they ever taught in our school system, ever. One of them. Okay? Now you're thinking, but you only work for the school system, so you only get $40,000 a year. As if I can't have a side business or investments or some other source of income. Or maybe my spouse. You're not thinking out of the box. You're thinking in the little box that society builds that says, whatever your income is how you have to live. That's how a lot of people think. That's what I call thinking Poe. So how come Maxine Waters can't be working, and getting this salary for her career that she's been doing for decades, by the way, and can't have other sources of income? Secondly, her husband, if I'm not mistaken, is an ex-football player, and I believe he was in banking. So, number two, if you're a black person, I want you to know something. Or really a minority, period, but especially black person, and I'm just speaking from experience, you're not supposed to be living well. When you're living well, it's like, unless you're an athlete, an entertainer, or some type of public figure like Steve Harvey or something like that, you're not supposed to be living well. It's like, prime example, when I was 25 years old, I had a job and I had a business on the side or whatever, and I had a luxury SUV, and it was only 5 years old, go me, and people used to say continuously, I would pull up and people would be like, that's your car? They'd be like, that's your car. Wow. It's kind of like, I'm young, I'm black. How? Even a friend of mine, he's black. And I remember a couple of times this happened. He saw a black man, not too old, in a nice, custom car. And he was like, oh, look at that car. Okay. Man, the dope boys are out. And I said, why he got to be a dope boy just because he got a nice car? Like, it's like we're all taught that mentality sometimes by society and we don't realize it. If you're a black person, especially of a certain age or a certain look, you're not supposed to be living nice. Y'all, we not supposed to be living nice. unless we dancing, throwing a ball, or we're some kind of public personality. So the translation to the undertone to me when I hear people talk about Maxine Waters and her income level and her home, I don't hear them say that like that about white people that are in government, congressmen and senators. And let me tell you something. I'm only bringing race into it because they are. Okay, now I'm not saying that you don't have politicians that are corrupt and stuff like that, but I'm just saying that being the first thing that they go to, and I don't hear them questioning the other people like that. Do you think that the other congressmen, senators are living in projects or living in impoverished areas? Do you think I wouldn't? If I had a salary like that or whatever kind of income, however kind of income from whatever source she got coming in, I wouldn't be doing it. I mean, why? And you can still be a person of wealth and care about others and be wanting to help others, right? We've seen it time and time again. So, my point is, y'all, there's an undertone here. There's an undertone. Read between the lines when people say these things about Maxine Waters or people like her or me or how my friend was talking about the dope boys. There's an undertone and an undercurrent of, if you're black, how the hell did you do that? Kind of like when you speak properly and you're black. It's like, that was you? Let me give you another example. I used to work at Crystal when I was real young, at maybe like 19, 20. It's a fast food restaurant in the drive-thru. And I would take the order and the person would pull around and be like, that was you on the drive-thru? Wow. Like how are you like, you're not supposed to speak a certain way. You're not supposed to live a certain way. And you're not supposed to behave a certain way if you're black. And if you don't behave like that, it's like, oh, wow. Like, y'all, we come in all forms, shapes, sizes, backgrounds, income levels. But, certain people, and sometimes our own people, want to put us in this box. And if you don't fit that, it's like, and it's ignorant. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really ignorant. I got another example like that, but I think you get the point. But this whole Maxine Waters thing, I'm just like, they're just mad because she's calling out the truth on the current sitting president, President Trump. Now, if you want to look for some scandal that ain't hard to find, look no further than him. Documented stuff. Not hard to find. Not rumors, proof. People that have worked with him. His own autobiographer, the person that wrote the art that Ghost wrote, or whatever you call it, The Art of the Deal, that helped him write it. He doesn't even like him. And you gotta think, if your own biographer doesn't like you, like, that man got to really know him when researching for the book. There's gotta be something to that. But they hate her because she speaks the truth. Just the same way they hated Dr. King. My mom told me people used to, call him names, still do sometimes, of which I won't repeat, and not like him, racist people and stuff like that, and Toms. And now it's like, oh, Dr. King's holiday, Dr. King's legacy, and it wasn't always like that because he was calling out the truth on their ass. Just think about it and watch what happens in the coming years.